What's up, everyone, and welcome to the show. First, I'd like to start out with saying that we are this is officially episode 30 of the Quick Diz Takes podcast. So I just thought that was worth mentioning, even though I think I mentioned 25. So here we are 5 episodes later, but still, like, you know.
Every 5 episodes will give you
Yeah,
an update.
it's cool to get to 30, you know. I started doing this in March, and we've kind of, we've now had 2 co-hosts, and technically 3 if you want to talk about the freeforms, and so we've been able to kind of stabilize it here over the last, I don't even know when you joined us. I think we were still somewhere in the low 12 or 13 or something like that.
Something like that.
But, yeah, so another 22 or so, and we'll be at a actual full year of doing this, which is really cool. But enough of that. Just gonna go. We were just talking a little bit about how we're, next week we're going to see Rise of Skywalker. So, spoiler alert, that's probably what we'll be talking about when we're on the next show. So we're going to, I think, on a whim here, just kind of discuss. We got a trip down to Disney in a few weeks now, less than a month anyway. January 9th we'll be heading down, and of course on January 10th, which is the first, because we're leaving, we're getting there in the evening on January 9th, we will be riding, knock on wood, Rise of the Resistance. And despite the fact that last week's episode was called Rise of Resistance, and we talked a lot about Rise of the Resistance, just thought we'd talk a little bit about our trip and a little bit more about that attraction, because I've watched it, I don't know, maybe another 5 to 10 times, and it just doesn't cease to amaze me. And so we were talking about it a second ago, and I was listening to some other shows, people that actually live in Orlando have been able to experience this. And so with the whole virtual queue system now, I've kind of got a better grasp on how it works. And the first thing I want to say and get your thoughts on, it makes me like a tinge nervous, because we're obviously, especially for you guys only being down there for like 4 days and us being down there just a few more days after that, is apparently if you don't get there early enough, you can get a grouping where they won't even be able to get you on the ride that day. This has actually happened to some people. I'm not sure what that means exactly. I know they got compensated.
Yeah, are they giving them the same type of compensation they were given? Because I know that first day the ride broke down, and then they gave people a bunch of. They gave them a fast pass whenever, and they gave them a free day in the park, I think, or something.
Oh well, the free day in the park does us no good because of
but
I mean, if it's
I don't know if they were giving them the like the fast pass anytime the next day when it's open. That seemed kind of like what they were doing.
I got the impression that was what was going on, which, I mean, that's fine if that was a worst case scenario.
Yeah.
But well, not really, because you got to run on that set. Well, still, we could always go out to the race, but I'm thinking we're gonna probably be there early enough anyway. And I'm assuming you're on the same page with me. Is that being the game plan? I don't know.
Yeah, because
the girls are gonna want to get up,
well,
but
that's their problem.
But oh well, I know Carrie's friend Natasha's all about it, so she's gonna definitely get up. She's kind of a big Star Wars fan.
I think for us, we're getting there like. When are we getting it? We're getting in like 8 o'clock-ish, so it's not like we're gonna get in super late. And
yeah, same with us.
So it's kind of like you're gonna get your normal amount of sleep and wake up anyway. So
and it's not like I was listening to another podcast where they were saying if you get in and say you don't do that well with like your positioning and you get like group 95, you can go, if you wanted to go back and sleep, if you wanted to, you can go back to sleep, and then you get a 2-hour window when they call you, which they're saying that group wouldn't be called probably till, if you were that late into the game, it would be like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, which, knock on wood, we're not going to get into that scenario, but that was with getting there later.
Yeah.
But we also have other plans. We're going to be doing lightsabers and
And the cantina.
Olga's Cantina. So hopefully we can just kind of kill some time doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that would work out for the best if that happened. But
Well, yeah, I'm always I'm a little uneasy about it, honestly. A little anxious about it because of it just being one of those things. And that's another thing. We have to make sure, or for us, and make sure for you guys. We haven't even actually talked about this. I'm bringing it up right now. We're gonna have to make sure we're linked on our accounts, so just so we can get the same like reservation time when we like click in and all that stuff.
yeah.
Just so we can write it together and stuff. But another bonus I've actually heard come out of this is that when you go to the 6 a.m. time, which I'm hoping is still going to be a thing when we get there, people are saying that the park is, I mean, obviously there's a lot of people showing up to try to get on Rise of the Resistance and all that good stuff, but generally the park is dead as far as lines go. And so that you're able, I heard that Slinky Dog was a walk-on, I heard that Tower of Terror was a walk-on, Aerosmith, all the, basically the three worthwhile rides besides Star Tours and Smuggler's Run. So,
Because I mean, people probably get their reservation. They either go sit down at a restaurant somewhere, or they can. At that point, you could jump the Skyliner and go somewhere else and come back in a couple hours. So people might just be getting there to get their time and then leaving, or
yeah.
hanging out in the land. Maybe that is probably busier than most, but
I wonder if they'll have the Skyliner open, going in at that time in the morning. I have no idea how that works.
oh yeah, I haven't even heard about
Because my hotel's on it. We're at Caribbean Beach, so we can use it if that's the case. But we'll have to see about that. But anyway, can we just talk, briefly one more time about how amazing this ride is? Like, I've never seen anything like it. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but geez.
No, it's fun watching. If you watch videos of you watch all the first timer videos, and it's just like everybody is just those moments of amazement.
Yeah, and
you see like especially that when they walk into that room with the stormtroopers, it's just
yeah.
you could just hear it in their voices of how crazy it must look. I mean, and then the same thing with kind of. I don't think most people knew about the elevator ride up in the AT-AT room there.
Yep.
Just people knew about the drop, but it seems like they did keep some stuff quiet to a point where it's surprising everybody. It's just I don't know. Every time you watch it, I don't know.
Rhino said on this Unplugged this week, I think he had a good line. He was like, it's like I looked around and I said to myself, this was a project that, that's what he was saying. This is a project that I don't think at any point someone was like, we get to cut budget here somewhere. Like, it just looks like they just took money and they were like, do this, do whatever it is you got to do, get this done.
Yeah, I mean,
and it comes through in the video too, like that I've watched. It just looks like they've spared no expense or detail.
No, and even the other day, I was sick, so I didn't go to work, and I ended up watching because the movie's coming out next week. So I watched Last Jedi again, and just the way the inside of the ships look in that movie, and then you go and watch one of the ride-through videos, and it's pretty flawless of just how they matched it. It's incredible.
The scale's crazy, and so someone did one, which I kind of glad they did it this way, where when you got in the transport, they did it's all POV, of course. But then once you arrive in the transport, they showed you it from the if you just were to watch from the back of the ship, like the window that's out the back of the transport ship.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you come in that way, you get a whole different perspective on things.
Yes, I did see that. And was there side ones too, or was it?
There might have been side ones. I didn't see any videos on those.
I forget whose video it was, but I thought that maybe it could have been the back. I did see the back of the ship too, but it's just
the back was cool though. I thought because when it came in, then it showed like the stormtroopers file, the ones that you ultimately see when you walk out into the pre-show room, like filing the continuity, like when it came in, like where the TIE fighter was versus where the stormtroopers were filing into the room, and everything just all sunk up, and it just I made it that much more like immersive because then you pop out and like everything you just saw on that screen looks like it doesn't look like an animation or anything. It looks legit, and you pop out and it's all right there. So it must really give you a good feel of even watching like just watching it on the computer makes me feel like I'm there. Like you went to a Star Destroyer that came back to Batu after. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, the screen technology seems like it just improved. Like it just improved a lot more with this, because even that room where you just see space and you see ships flying by, it looks,
at
least for the screen wise, it looks real. So yeah, it's just like the same, with that thing with putting the screens in the back, and if they did on the side, it's just like you could have just not done that and it would still be, but just the little details of that just to make it that much more immersive is just they definitely did not cut any budget.
It looks incredible. Can't say enough about it. My dog is going crazy in the background here. But yeah, just want to touch on that again and talk about also just how cool I think this virtual queue thing is now. Where you don't even have to, I think I even said it in the show last week. I thought it was like you have to be in the park to get that part. Mm-hmm. But I thought you have to physically show up to like some kind of a kiosk there. But you just have to once it recognizes you scan into the park, your phone.
Yeah, because I was even playing around with it on the thing, and it shows, you just join boarding group, and I guess you just hit that, and once you're in there,
and you're in.
It's
pretty good, pretty simple, pretty easy,
and it makes it so you don't have to worry about standing in line for 4, 5, 6 hours.
Which is also, I did that for Flight of Passage, and I'm glad I did at the time. But yeah, if I don't have to do it, I won't. I heard that once you join your group, depending on how, if you're in the earlier groups, it could be like 20 to 30 minutes. If you're in later, it might be a little more, but like an hour. But even if it's an hour, if I gotta wait in a queue for an hour for a brand new like ride that may be the greatest thing Disney's ever made, I'm okay with that. I can live with that.
But I mean, I'm sure this is all part of a test. I'm sure too for everything else, just to see.
Yeah, they should be. They're gonna eventually probably do it with a lot of attractions, I would imagine.
Yeah, at least like the big marquee ones that year.
Yeah, I mean, I think some rides should be what they are, and let it, like you can let Pirates queue up. That's a pretty easy queue that usually flows, never usually crazy. But things like I'm
sure like a Soarin' or a Flight of Passage.
Yeah,
like
even Space Mountain on a busy day.
Yeah,
maybe even I'm assuming Tron's gonna get this.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Any e-ticket going forward. I wonder if even Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is going to get something like this as well.
Yeah, maybe.
You can only hope. And I mean, that one too, I think that's going to be a sleeper attraction. I've said that 100 times, but we'll see when that one comes out. But we'll see if that warrants the same kind of wait times as Rise of Resistance. And how long will Rise of the Resistance be this popular? I mean, it is still like in the opening, finished 1 week. But I do think it's gonna. I mean, through the holidays and stuff, I doubt it's gonna die down. Which is why I'm anxious.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Flight of Passage still is hours of wait. So I mean, it seems that's the only thing you can kind of compare it to.
The only thing I noticed about Flight of Passage that I would say is an improvement versus like when it first opened, with wait time wise, is there are times now where you can catch it at a decent wait time. Where at one time there was just never a time of day where there was a decent wait time. And when I say decent, I mean relatively decent. Like maybe it's down to 50 minutes. Like if it's down to 50 minutes and you don't have a fast pass, get on it because it's about as good as you're gonna get with that ride. I mean that'll simmer down over time, I'm sure, especially with all the stuff going on there now. But in that particular park, that is still by far the most advanced, newest and advanced and popular ride. So. Those things tend to stay popular until the next thing comes along and knocks it down a little bit. Which is going to be interesting to see if Tron does that a little bit to Space Mountain. Although I think with those two attractions being side by side, it might make it worse.
Yeah, because if Tron's too long, we'll just go wait in Space Mountain.
Especially if Tron's virtual.
Yeah, because then you'll have the time to go might as well just go wait in Space Mountain.
Yeah. But it's exciting, and I can't wait to get the lightsabers, and I cannot wait to try the drinks and ride the rides, and just probably spend a stupid amount of money shopping there too. just the whole idea. I mean, I know a lot of people are ahead of us on this stuff because there are other channels because they live down there. But being up here in New England is just like I cannot wait to get down there and do all this stuff.
And seeing the movie next week's not going to help it at all.
Oh,
That's
I can't
just going to
wait,
make it
yeah.
even.
Cannot
But at
wait.
least it's soon.
Yeah, it's good. It is soon. By the time we see the movie, Christmas rolls
Yeah,
through. it's like,
Christmas and
boom.
New Year's, and then that's so it's
Yeah, a
yeah.
couple days
It's a
later,
nice
we're
little
out.
time to go.
Yeah. My wife put my daughter's Elf on the Shelf down here, as you can see, and I'm causing it to lose its magic.
Christmas is ruined.
So I apologize there. Anyway, enough of Rise of Resistance. Real quick, so we don't do a ton of news here, but did you see the video of the kid jumping up on the Carousel Progress?
Oh no, I did not. I saw the headline and then I never went back to watch it.
Okay, so this kid jumps on the stage and is just, I mean, if you want, feel free to pull up on your phone as I talk about it, but it's like a 25-second video or something, but he is like annihilated. Like he's on something, or drunk, or both, or whatever. I heard someone even say he might be special needs, but I don't get the impression that's the case. And what's funny about it is, like, as you pull it up, you'll see, I thought was kind of honest. I would have thought that as soon as you like got on that stage, like that, the ride would have like stopped. Cast members would have been coming out of like different directions, and you would know at the end of it. He gets on there, he gets behind, like in the back of the set, and plays with the butter churner, like pulls that up, and then like has time to pass out like face first into the dog's rear end. And his friend comes on stage and checks on him, as you're about to see. And then he comes and checks on him again. Like, as you see there, there's a lot of time passing before anyone breaks this up. It's kind of strange. But I thought it was noteworthy because it was funny. Like, I mean, I guess technically it's not funny, but you don't see that every day. Imagine me sitting there and that just happens on the ride. First of all, the guy lived the dream. First, like, who doesn't want to jump up on the set of Carousel Progress?
Yeah.
I mean, if I was allowed to, I would.
Oh, did he get banned?
I think they're still kind of sorting all that stuff out. I didn't really read the article. Maybe they already did. I mean, I'm assuming that's automatic. I can hardly imagine them letting him back in the park, any Disney park at that point.
Because I'm just trying to think. When you were in the ride, before you start, there's usually a cast member gives the the spiel.
Yeah.
But then they walk out, so you are riding with no cast member, I think.
I think so too, but here's the thing. Well, and you're probably right, I guess, because no one. But here was what I thought initially. If I had to sit down and think about it, this is what I would have thought would happen. Usually those sets have like a weight sensor, so if any added weight is added onto them, they like over a certain amount of weight, they can tell right away. There's got to be cameras.
Yeah, or you just think that even like the sensor in your garage door that you walk past the
exactly.
You'd think something.
Oh yeah, something like that on the
stage.
stage.
And that would shut the ride off.
Also, there's obviously every stage has a no matter how many times it rotates, there's a way out. It has to be fire exit. So if it did recognize that, it would just stop, and a cast member would come in from the backside or whatever they had to do to get it done. It's just kind of a weird thing. I mean, he made a good 20. I mean, that video is a good 25, 30 seconds. His friend gets up, checks on him, goes somewhere, and then comes back
after
again.
he lays down. Yeah.
And then some woman comes to the front. I don't know if she's a cast member or not. I couldn't really tell.
No, it looked like she had a phone on her or something.
But
maybe they'll.
I'm so glad someone rolled some film on that though. That's just funny.
Maybe there'll be a cast member in every thing now.
Anyway. But yeah, so next week, because we're gonna make this one short today. Not a whole lot going on besides Rise of the Resistance. Next week we'll have our thoughts on Star Wars, and obviously keep your eyes out for the Mandalorian episodes now. Finally got the first one up, and I want to apologize a little bit for the first one because it took a little while to get up. I had some problems with copyright and things like that. Also, the speed in which I talked in that video, I apologize for a little bit too because we just kind of brushed over 4 episodes like very quickly. But starting this week, we'll have one at a time, so it'll be a little bit easier to break down those shorter episodes. But yeah, and we're not doing this every week, but every time I get an idea, one of us gets an idea, we throw it out there. So really quickly, I just want to say that my 50 tweak for 50 years on the list now for sure is I want to see, we said it earlier, I want to see more attractions get the virtual queue.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty straightforward.
Easy one. Yeah.
Not even much to talk about there. I just want to throw that out there. And, like, you know, Disney, you should get that done because, I mean, A, how much more money are you going to make? And B, how much more happier are you going to make, you know, the fans and everything else? So, love to see that come to the parks. Especially at the very least for the new e-tickets, and I think that's how they're gonna do it. Like I would imagine, like Ratatouille's gonna get it. I mean, Frozen could have used it when it first came out. That was a messy situation. You look at that queue. That queue's not even built to. It's under control now. You almost never see it come out the door anymore, or very little.
Yeah.
But there's not much of a queue there for something that's insanely popular. And obviously, Ratatouille's gonna be popular because anything new in Epcot, any ride Epcot gets is gonna be insanely popular. So. Those types of rides, I would just like to see get that because some queues are just off. Like Aerosmith, I wish Aerosmith had it. I hate that queue.
Yeah. There's rides at that point where I just won't even, unless I have a fast pass, I just probably won't even ride it.
You know who needs it? Peter Pan.
Yes, yeah, I won't. I've never walked through the queue since they've even changed it. I won't go on that unless I have a fast pass.
I will say I did walk through that queue. It is cool, but. Just the idea of what the ride is versus the wait time and everything. Just get that and where it is.
Yeah.
Just get that thing virtual queued up and call it a day, Disney. It's been way too long waits there. Anyway, that's all we got this week. So we'll see you next week and we'll talk Star Wars and have a magical rest of your week.